I literally thought myself into a car accident. So before you think I'm crazy, let me tell you the story. This is over a decade ago. I was driving to a conference, and when I was entering the freeway ramp, I realized I forgot my wallet at home. And of course, in my wallet is a license, driver license. And I was like, oh my goodness, what if I get pulled over and I need an identification? And oh my goodness, what about even worse? What if I get into a car accident? And my mind was spiraling like crazy. So like this is where I went wrong, where I did not stop myself and contradict my thoughts and then think of something good and beautiful. And so I was driving, I was full of anxiety, and I understand anxiety. This might be like, gut related, health related issue, whatever. But what it is that I thought of this. I was scared of it. I kept thinking about it. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. I can't, like, what if this, what if that, just, I'm sure every human understands this anxiety that they have, or like I'm sure you've experienced this before, where you can't, literally you're on a roller coaster of these thoughts. And so as I was approaching the conference center, I got distracted and I turned right in front of a different car, and she hit me, and it was totally my fault. And the crazy part is that when I was driving and thinking about it, I was like, I gotta stop myself. I gotta stop myself. Like, I can't be attracting this, because I was already like knowing a little bit about manifesting and the law of attraction. And I know it's all sounds so woo woo, but like truly crazy experience. And so, of course, like I had to have my license, and I completely freaked out. And anyway, it was, long story short, I learned my lesson. And then I was so much more aware of my thoughts and what we attract into my life. And like, I feel like when we're aware of this kind of stuff, we notice it everywhere. And so what happened was, I was following this girl on Instagram, and she was just sharing her daily life and with children and stuff. Love following her. And she shared something like a funny story, right? And I'm going to tell you the story. And then I'm going to tell you what I think of it. So she was saying that she was running laps around the track, and her children were playing on the bleachers. And every time she was running by the children, running on the bleachers, one of her boys was like jumping on the bleachers, and like he was like fooling around. And she said every time she ran past him, she'd yell at him and say, "Get down from there. I don't want to end up at the hospital with you today. I got enough things to worry about. Get down there." And she said something similarly every time she ran by. And then, she finishes the story by saying, "And what do you know? He falls down, and I forgot what it was, like either hit his head or broke his leg, something pretty serious, where she had to end up in the hospital with him." And with my life experience, okay, I don't want to sound like, oh my goodness, I have so much life experience. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying that because I was aware of this similar thing happening, I was like, oh my word, she literally attracted that scenario. And this happens to our life. And I get it, whether you believe it or not, I get it. But I am such a firm believer that our thoughts attract things in our life, and then it makes our life. It either makes or breaks our life. And so I'm like on this beautiful journey of learning more about this, and testing it on myself, and trying to really live up to that. It's like, for example, you know how some people say fake it till you make it. I remember I was in a coaching program many years ago, and our coach was saying that it's not that you fake it or you make it. You become the person who would do this, or a person who would own this kind of business, or you become that person who would, make this kind of money. And so the way you carry yourself changes, the way you interact with people changes. It's actually nuts. And so it's literally a mind game, a little shift that you have to shift, and therefore you will attract what you think. I mean, you attract what you think whether or not you know about it. I mean, it could be as simple as saying things like, I'm so dumb. Oh my word. Like, for example, I don't say that on myself because I really don't think I'm dumb. But there was recently where I was talking to my teenage son, and I was like, how are you doing so good on a cut? He's a bodybuilder. He goes to the gym every day and he's on a cut. And I was like, how are you so consistent? Like, I'm the most inconsistent person I know. Truly, like, if I start something, it's like I will start a cut. I will start, like, this is sad, and this is our conversation. I'm like, I quit. Like, I'm the most inconsistent person I know. And he's like, Mom, you know why you're the most inconsistent person you know? I'm like, why? And he's like, because you keep telling yourself that. And I'm like, oh my word, that is so true. It's almost like I'm living up to the expectation. And it's actually true. I always say that. And so my body's like, oh, might as well, like, that's who you are. So let's, mold ourselves to that. When I was growing up, my dad used to tell the story so often, it's engraved in my mind. And it's absolutely fascinating and such a good, like, closing for this video. He was talking about a bodybuilder, and this is funny because I tell this to my boys too. Now I'm passing it on. A bodybuilder is, strong, big and strong, and he's done this. Don't know any gym terminology, but like, he'll pick up that massive barbell and then, like, pick it up like that, whatever it's called. And then they'll just drop it. And so, like, I guess they do those in competitions. And so my dad was always said, like, do you know how many times the guy competing picks up that weight? Many times. He's at the gym, he's practicing. He hit that PR a while ago and he practiced it many times. But once he goes on stage and there's hundreds, if not thousands of people, and if just an ounce of doubt creeps in his mind, he will never pick up that weight, even though he has picked it up a million times. And so he was saying that, like, my dad was saying that, like, in our body, we have, and this is like a cute, childish way to think about it, which I think is so appropriate. I love it. I connect with it. So, like, in our body, we have all these wonderful cells, and you are the boss. And your thoughts are governing all these millions and billions of cells. And when you tell them, oh my God, I can't do this, or I am so inconsistent, or like whatever it is, it's almost like they're like, oh, yes, sir. And they're like, I'm going to do this. What a great challenge. And they all blindly follow your command. And so it is insane how you are the boss of your body. I am the boss of my body. Whatever I say and do, every cell in my body listens and takes command with no questions asked. Whether it's right or wrong, whether it's true or not, it doesn't matter. They take command and they do it. And so I just want to encourage you, myself included, to truly be mindful of our thoughts, to sometimes wonder, who is this talking? Why am I talking like this? Like, just be curious. Michael Singer talks about this in his book, Untethered Soul, I think. He talks about it. It's such an amazing book. And I learned a lot from him. And he talks about this too. It's like, literally just listen. Just go through your day and listen to your thoughts. You know how, like, all these productivity gurus, they have you write down every single thing that you do, like, Some do 15 minutes, 30-minute increments. So whatever you're doing, scrolling, you write that down. You're in the bathroom, you write that down. You're doing dishes, you write every single thing down, so that way you can have like an idea of where your time is being spent. And the same thing applies to our thoughts. And just, I know I've never done this to myself. Actually, that's a really good idea to do that. Just to sit down, or like always have a notepad. Because I know phone, by the time you take out your phone and your notes app, it's like another like barrier, you know? But like, it'll be so nice to be so aware of your thoughts and to write them down, and to even know what in the world is going on in my mind. Why am I the way that I am? What am I telling myself? What am I dictating to my whole body to do? Anyway, I am so passionate about this. I love talking about this. I think that this is such a powerful way to get out of a rut. I know I made a video about gratitude a few videos back, and how it completely changed my life. And it's literally the same like idea. It's like what you focus on expands. What you pay attention to realizes. It's absolutely fascinating. And I just want to encourage you to keep an ear out for your thoughts, what you're thinking, what you're saying to yourself. When you drop a cup, what do you think? What comes to your mind? Or you break a glass or whatever, you know? And a lot of times we are as harsh to ourselves as maybe our parents were when we were little. Or like, I mean, we can go deep. But I'm going to leave it at that. I hope you're having an amazing day. Look at this beautiful sunset. They spray the skies today, so it's not as beautiful as it can be, but you know, it's still beautiful. I hope you're having an amazing day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.